the day after we were together, and I remember like we called my mom. My mom's in a nursing home, and that was the most emotional experience for me because I haven't seen my mom since March, and I'm not gonna get emotional though, but I haven't seen my mom since March because of COVID, and to see that sort of joy and excitement when she saw the ring, it was like nothing I've ever really experienced.
Hey y'all, welcome to our channel Covered by Grace. I'm Lamar.
And I'm Vanessa.
And we are excited to be able to share with you our engagement story, the proposal, everything, all the feels. And so I'm going to go first. I know usually we say ladies first, but I'm going to go first. So, because it's a lot, you know, when it comes to just the man having a plan. Fellas, if you ever had to plan a proposal, you know the types of thoughts that you was going through. So, but you know, when I first, or I guess I could say when I finally decided when I was going to propose, it came on the day that we had our first unofficial date, and basically that means that you know, we came to go out to eat for dinner, and then that was the same night that I ended up talking to her and expressing that I was really interested in taking things to the next level. And so on October 4th, 2020 was the date that I chose to propose, and even before that, throughout the year, I was, you know, at first I was like, I wanted to propose in the first quarter of the year, and then you know, that came and went, and as I was, you know, seeking to find the date, that was the date that I came along with. And then once I was officially ready to make that decision, I could feel the weight of what that decision meant, and knowing that once I actually communicate that to the friends and anybody that would be involved with surprising Vanessa, I knew that it would be like, it's like literally another YouTube video that I saw. Like the guy literally said it's like you shooting the bullet out of the gun, you can't bring it back. And so it was a very pivotal moment when I shared with one of her close friends, Shannon. I actually shared with her first that I was planning to propose on that date, and so then we had the spot already because it was the spot that we had our first date. And then basically it was just planning the amount of people that we wanted there and all that other stuff. But basically, just to share, just from my perspective, just how it felt, the feelings that I felt was, you know, I am, you know, about to propose to the love of my life, and just the feeling of just the weight of that decision. And the honor of even being able to make that decision is something that really stood out to me. And so, you know, I began to gather all of the friends and the people that she would want there, and just being able to contact them. I had to get the contact. Well, we had contact information. I had contact information like phone numbers and of a lot of the people, but there were certain people that I literally had to reach out through social media, email, literally to try to get into contact without her knowing. And literally from my end, if I would contact those from Facebook Messenger or through text, I literally had to make it in such a way where, like, if she would have my phone, which I have no problem doing, like if she would have my phone, for instance, that there wouldn't be a message that would pop up or whatever. Like, you know, it's just like I always had all the nerves of like of wanting her not to find out. But I'll let her share a little bit more. But lo and behold, she ended up knowing already, just by the steps that I was taking to make the proposal happen. And to be honest, from my perspective, it was so interesting because as much as you would want to surprise her, I didn't feel as bad as someone would normally feel that she knew already. I just think that like she's very hard to surprise, and so at that point it was just kind of like, we're here. I'm excited, and she's still gonna be surprised in certain ways, but I'll let her explain more about how she was feeling about it. You can go ahead, babe.
Yeah, so number one, you are correct. I am very hard to surprise. I'm extremely over analytical, and it is to my detriment because I want to have the enjoyment of being surprised, especially like for my proposal. But one of the things that I loved about our relationship is that from the beginning, we made it really clear. We were honest with each other about timeline and, when we would be expecting to get engaged. And I think kind of like the unexpected thing that Lamar did, but which actually turned out good, is that he told me that he was planning to propose in the first or second quarter of the year. And so I was expecting first or second quarter of 2020, especially because I really wanted to get married in 2020. I like before COVID came on the scene, I was really planning my dream wedding for 2020 in my head. I wasn't really planning it, but I was just like, it would be just amazing because it's like an even number. And then, I was just really into it.
Yep.
And then I had a date that I wanted. I was like 10/10/2020. That would be like the perfect date.
About this date.
Yes. But God had to really like humble me and really help me to, reflect on those things. And what happened was I surrendered it all to God, and I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to get married by October because first and second quarter of the year passed. There was still no proposal. So I'm like, oh man, when is this man gonna? So we've been preparing for it. We got our pre-engagement counseling. We were preparing for premarital counseling. And I'm just like, okay, I gotta ask him because I know that this is a relationship that is centered on Christ. We just practice purity between us and like keeping Christ first to strengthen us. And so I was just like, our values are really high and on like saving ourselves for marriage and many other things, of course that's not the main thing, but I was like, okay, I just want to get an idea. And I asked him, I was like, so what's happening? And maybe I didn't ask in the most gentle way, but he told me that he was saving up. And so I think, what was it? Oh, yes. He kind of let it slip. He was like, I think we had applied for the premarital course. And he was like, oh, yeah, we're going to be engaged by the time this premarital course starts. And mind you, the premarital course started on his birthday, September 13th. So when he said, oh, we'll be engaged by then. And I was like, engaged by September 13th. So automatically, like my, brain just fired off. And I'm like, oh, I got to prepare. And I was getting all nervous and everything. I was like, oh, he's trying to propose by September 13th. And I knew he wasn't going to do it in August because I told him not to do it in the month of August. Not, my birthday's in August. I was like, I want to have my birthday for myself. But I was also ready because I'm like, time is ticking away. And so when he said by September 13th, I had already started expecting it. And so that was the first thing that happened. And then I told him about that, and then he was like, oh, I should never have done that. I'm so sorry. It was an innocent thing. He didn't realize that he was giving it away.
Did not realize at all.
And then he was like, you know what? Never mind. Scratch that. I'm not going to do it by September 13th anymore. So I'm like, okay, sure, we'll wait. And then time went on, and I was like, oh, I have a feeling it's going to happen soon. It might not happen in September, but it's going to happen early October or somewhere around then. And I kept feeling like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm sensitive, like spiritually sensitive or whatever, but I kept feeling like, oh, something is changing, like it's about to happen. And then, so when my friend reached out to me, my closest friend Shannon, she was like, oh, do you want to go get our nails done together? And I've always wanted to get my nails done with her, but it just, the timing was just like, I just have a strong feeling because she's asking me like around the time when I was already kind of expecting a proposal. So I was like, I have a feeling she's up to something or he's up to something. And when she texted me that question, I was actually on the phone with him. And he remembers because I had told him, I was like, Shannon's asking me to, get a manicure with her. And he got really quiet and, he kind of like tried to switch the subject.
I didn't get really quiet. No, I actually kept my cool. But at the same time, I was like, oh, she knows. From that moment, I literally knew she knew.
Okay. So
I did.
So I was like, okay, he's he's getting kind of quiet. And I had like made some little, jokes about, oh, I know what this is all about. But he was like not really saying anything. I think he like giggled or whatever, but he kind of tried to play it cool and whatnot. So I was on to all of it. But I was like, you know what? And then I had like made a joke like, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm not ready for this. And then, but I decided to go anyways because I wanted to have that experience with my friend and I really needed my nails done. And we went. And then later on in the week, like he kept saying, I'm so excited about Sunday. And I'm like, why are you excited? Why are you so excited? Like, it's just like an anniversary kind of dinner. We're just going to reflect on our first date.
Okay, I got to pause real quick. See, I was excited genuinely. Like, even though I was proposing, yes, I was excited. I was literally excited because this was the first time that we've been back to that spot in 2 years. And so I was really excited. But go ahead.
Okay. Whatever. So I was like, okay, like he's really excited. I wasn't planning on getting too dressed up because I was like, I have a feeling it's going to happen and I don't want to be, I don't want to show him that I'm ready. I don't know. I was playing hard to get. I was just being difficult. But then I was like, you know what? I don't want this to go down in history with me not preparing, like not having my nails done, not getting dressed up, because then I would regret it later. So I was like, let me just do it anyways. I have a feeling the proposal is going to happen Sunday, but I'm going to do it anyways. And this is my word, because you can ask my friend Pratt. I was talking to her on Wednesday. And sorry to shout you out, Prado. I don't know if you want your name out there, but I was talking to her on Wednesday and I was like, she's like, when do you think it's going to happen? I was like, I have a feeling it's going to happen Sunday. I have a strong feeling because just the way things were set up and like the little hints here and there. And then so Sunday, he comes in the door. I'm wearing jeans. He comes in the door with a full brand new outfit. Y'all, like brand new Tommy Hilfiger brown, nice shoes. He was wearing slacks and he never wears slacks. He's pretty casual. He was wearing a button-down shirt. He had a clean cut. He had the cologne going strong. Like, he was so fresh. And I'm like, why is he so dressed up? Like, I know that this is like the 2 years since we went on that date, but I didn't think that we needed to be so dressed up. Like, this is East Harlem Bottling Co. Like, guys, I highly recommend going there, by the way, but it's a very casual restaurant. And when we went, I was actually wearing jeans. So I was thinking, okay, I could wear jeans and get away with it. And then he comes in like that. I'm like, yeah, it's happening today. And my heart just dropped when I saw him. I was like, oh my God, it's actually going to happen today. But I didn't share it with him. Like, I just knew. And then I kept making jokes. I was like, oh, I guess I missed the memo. Like, you could have told me something. And I was actually getting upset because I was like, you could have told me something. Now I got to find a whole new outfit and all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I know it's going to happen. I don't want to regret it. Let me just put on something nice. And I found a skirt, the only one that could fit me because your girl has gained some weight, COVID-15, whatever that is. So, so I was like, okay, I'm going to wear this. And it fit perfectly. So I was like, okay, God, all right. He was dressing me up. And And then as the day progressed, I was like, oh my gosh, like it's happening. And I was even trying to make sure we got to the reservation on time because, you know, it was a lot going on. He had to use the bathroom. There was stuff happening. Yeah, like he began on my nerves because I'd be like, now? Like, it's just crazy. But we had a reservation for 6. And I'm like, it's about to happen and I don't want people waiting. So let's try to make it there. We were like exploring Harlem a little bit. And actually that day was the day we went to go see my grandma. And it was amazing. Like awesome. We visited my grandma together for the first time and we prayed over her. And it was so beautiful. It was just such a beautiful day. Mm-hmm. And she was so happy to see us. She was ecstatic. And then later on when we got to the restaurant, I was kind of like running. I was like, we got to get a move on. It's 6:15. But even before I did that, I was like, let me touch up my makeup because I know what's about to happen and I want to be on point. And then I put on my mask, which I didn't need to do, but I was like, let me just at least put it on so we can get inside the restaurant. And what I was expecting was that we were going to eat, enjoy our time together, reflect, whatever, and then people were going to pop up. And I don't know why I was thinking that. People were going to pop up and be like, filming me and then having a sign that says will you marry me or something like that. But to my surprise, as soon as we turned the corner, everyone was there, like his family, my sister, my friends. And as soon as I saw them, like my heart, I felt that feeling again. I was like, and then I closed my arms like this is what I do when I want to protect myself when I'm shy. And I was like, and then my friend, one of my best friends, was like, hey girl, you look so cute. I'll never forget that because that is the first thing she said because they were trying to play cool. I heard them on the camera. I watched the recording afterward and they were trying to play cool. So she was like, hey girl, you look so cute. And I was like, I know what y'all here for. She's like, why you get your arms crossed? And I was like, because I know what this is. And I was so shy because all the eyes were on me and I was so afraid to look behind because I knew he was going to be on his knees. And I was just like, oh my God, this is actually happening. And I was like, am I going to cry in front of all these people? And just like the adrenaline and just being in the spotlight because, you know, we're outside, we're in the restaurant, there's people who are having their dinner and they're looking at us and then people all in this. So I was feeling so shy. I don't like being in the spotlight. And there were so many people watching and I was just like, oh, like, I couldn't even think about crying because the first thing I was thinking about is like, can we just get this over with? Because I'm so shy. I am so shy.
So romantic, isn't it?
I know.
Just want to get it over with.
I'm so shy. So like as soon as he dropped down, he was like, I can't think of anyone to spend the rest of my life with. And y'all see the video clip. But as soon as he said that, I was looking, I didn't even look at the ring because my eyes were closed because I didn't want to see what was around. So I was like, he was like, will you marry me? And I said, yes. It wasn't even like a heartfelt like because I was so shy and nervous, like the nervousness in me. And sometimes I think about if I can go back, maybe I would do the whole screaming, like, you know, the typical romantic stuff you see in the movies. But it's really not like that. Like in the moment, like some people do have that experience. But in the moment, it depends on the kind of woman. But in a moment, like it's different. Like when I was in the moment, I think I allowed the nervousness to take over. And I was just like, I just want to like hurry up and get this over with so I can sit down and people won't be staring and all that. And there's cameras in my face. So I was just like, let's just get this over with. So yes, I'm sorry. That was a lot. But yes, that was my experience. I think one thing that I would add to that is that I felt the emotions a lot afterwards. So the tears, the joy, just that shift, because it feels like a shift, like something. Really does. You felt it too?
It's a shift. There's a shift that happens like when it's like you're finally engaged. Like it's like, you know, you're moving from boyfriend and girlfriend to fiance, and it really is a different experience.
It feels different because it's like, wow, this is a major commitment. This is serious. This is like, I can't go back now. Like, what did I get into? I mean, of course I could, but I imagined like
Right.
changing my mind or, you know, cutting off an engagement or anything. And so I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. And it took a while to actually get acclimated with it. The day after we were together, and I remember like we called my mom. My mom's in a nursing home, and that was the most emotional experience for me because I haven't seen my mom since March. And I'm not going to get emotional though, but I haven't seen my mom since March because of COVID. And to see that sort of joy and excitement when she saw the ring, it was like nothing I've ever really experienced because, of course, people were so excited at the proposal, but like to see her face, she screamed at like the highest pitch. She was like, ah, because she's been wanting me to get married for so long. And, you know, every time I go see her, she can't really speak. She can't really verbalize it because of the stroke she's had, but she would point to her finger, like ring, ring, ring.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, mommy, just slow down, you know? And then when it finally happened and I showed her the ring, she just screamed and I just was bawling. And he was like trying to help me and all that stuff. And I was just like, oh my God. And I was laughing because it was like a mixture of joy and sadness because I couldn't share that experience with her in person.
Yeah.
And it just hurt.
And just real quick, that was actually another part of the preparation that was really hard for me because one of the things I wanted to do was have her realize that her mom was watching the entire time through video. And when I tried to set it up with the nursing home, it was unfortunately the time that we had set was in the evening after the staff was going away. So it was definitely a disappointing moment to not be able to do that. But nonetheless, it still made for an exciting moment when we were able to come together and have that phone call and have her see the ring. It was very special.
So yeah, that's our proposal story. Thanks for tuning in to Covered by Grace. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.